at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries,
welcome to the news updates on Television Nigerian for Monday, the 30th day of November 2020. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, Senator Barau Jibrin, over the weekend stated that the Joint Committee on Appropriation working towards ensuring the submission of the harmonized report on the rejigged 13.08 trillion naira 2021 budget proposal on Thursday, the 3rd of December 2020. He stated that with the submission of all budget estimates from the subcommittees, the next stage of work for the Appropriation Committee would be to carry out the required scrutiny of the reports and harmonize with the House of Representatives for submission at both chambers on Thursday for final consideration and passage, latest by the following week. The federal lawmakers have said that for federal roads to be motorable at all times, 400 billion naira will be required yearly for maintenance, describing the 38 billion naira earmarked for that purpose in the 2021 budget proposal as too low for it to make any impact. More reactions have continued to trail Boko Haram's killing of no fewer than 43 rice farmers at Zabamari in the Jere local government area of Borno State on Saturday, as the remains of the victims were interred on Sunday and witnessed by Borno State Governor Babagala Zulum, among other personalities. Top public officials, including President of the Senate, Dr. Ahmed Lawan, House of Representatives Speaker, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Northern governors, as well as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, People's Democratic Party PDP, and the Afenifere have condemned the killings and urged the federal government to adopt more stringent measures in its war against insurgency. Boko Haram fighters had tied up and killed the rice farmers in the village near Maiduguri, the state capital, raising fresh concerns about the safety of Nigerians, as the state governor Zulum also stated that Boko Haram still maintained a strong presence in parts of the troubled state, despite claims by the federal government that the terror group doesn't hold any territory in the country. However, farmers under the umbrella of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN, has warned of an imminent food crisis as virtually all the northern states with major agricultural production activities, including Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto and Kebbi, are currently affected by activities of non-state actors, which has forced many farmers to vacate their farms. The ruling All Progressive Congress APC has scheduled an emergency meeting of its National Executive Committee, NEC, for the 8th of December 2020. The Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, Yekini Nabena, in a statement in Abuja on Sunday, stated that the meeting will review the party's position and set agenda for its next move. It further revealed that in line with the COVID-19 public health protocols, the next meeting scheduled to hold by 11 a.m. at the Council Chambers, State House, Abuja, will be held through virtual means. The last emergency NEC meeting of the party held on June 25, 2020, where the Comrade Adams Oshomole's National Working Committee was dissolved and a 13-man caretaker extraordinary convention planning committee under the chairmanship of Governor May Malabuni was inaugurated. With a 6-month operational window given to the committee set to end by December 2020 and no national convention scheduled to hold before that time, there are speculations that the next meeting may extend the tenure of the caretaker committee to enable them plan and conduct the national convention where new national leaders of the party will be elected. We'll go for a short break now, and when we return, the rest of the stories continues. Join us again. Thanks for staying tuned. You are still watching the news update on Television Nigerian. The professionalism, discipline and excellence which has been the hallmark of service by the officers of the Nigerian Army has been attributed to the impeccable training they received from the War College of the Nigerian Army. This was made known at the graduation lecture of a class of the Army War College, Nigeria, and the commissioning of the War College Office Complex Extension in Abuja. Correspondent Lawrence Audu was there and has the details.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has lauded the professionalism and commitment of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army involved in various theaters of operation in the country. General Buratai was speaking on Tuesday at the graduation lecture for Course 4, 2020 of the Army War College, Nigeria, and commissioning of the War College Office Complex Extension in Abuja. Represented by the Chief of Army Policy and Plans, Lieutenant General Lamidi Adeosun, Buratai noted that the Army War College has continued to play a vital role since its inception, pointing out that 3 years after, the vision has paid a high-level dividend.
It's on record that the graduates of this college have added value to Nigerian Army's war-fighting capabilities in our various operational engagements. This explains why I have always focused my attention on upgrading and improving the facilities in this very important Nigerian Army training school, even in the face of other competing needs. It is my wish that this college lives up to the standards obtainable in similar colleges in other climes.
In his remarks, the guest lecturer at the occasion and the UNDP country representative in Nigeria, Dr. Mohammed Yahya, disclosed that the UNDP was interested in 3 key programs in any country it works with. These are governance, environment, and inclusive growth.
Peace and development nexus approach recognizes the importance of meeting immediate needs such as security and hunger, but at the same time, the need to invest and address systematic causes of conflict and vulnerability. Effective prevention of conflict could save countless lives. We have seen recently in a report the UN issued, if we had invested in prevention only, the world would have saved more than 70 billion a year. The response, once the security forces are deployed, it means that the social structures and the systems of prevention have failed.
Also speaking, the Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Abe Taku, said Nigeria and India have come a long way in their bilateral and military cooperation, which is yielding tremendous results.
Our constant effort has been to expand our defense collaboration beyond training to experience sharing, joint R&D. We are even working together to develop a long-range IED detector, which we believe would be a great contribution to Nigerian Army's fight against terrorists.
From Abuja.
The first stakeholders summit of prominent citizens of the Benue South political region, otherwise known as Zone C Senatorial District of Benue State, comprising majorly of Idoma-speaking ethnic nationalities, was held in Otukpo, Benue State, to synergize all political, traditional, youth and religious leaders in the zone to harmonize and work towards the emergence of a governor of the state from the Zone C Senatorial Zone at the 2023 general elections. Correspondent Daniel Atai was there and completes the report.
The national coordinator of the Benue Rebirth Movement, Air Vice Marshal Monday Morgan, retired, advised the Benue South people to wave off the slave mentality bestowed on them in the state by the long period of non-participation in leadership decisions of the state, and dare to negotiate for the seat of governor in order to contribute their wealth of economic, human, and infrastructural development to the state.
The mention of Otukpo invokes a lot of historical memories as being the town and the division of political cohesion with many facts in infrastructure, right from the colonial days to the close of the 70s. Our gathering here today should not lose sight of that and should be able to reflect on that first for a new era of claiming the lost glory. This requires a fresh level of mobilization in which we can collectively stand tall to take very bold and assured steps. But this also requires commitment and the ability to shed off some primordial sentiments which may hinder the desired outcomes. In the last 4 decades, Benue South Senatorial Zone, otherwise called Zone C, has been left in the lurch as to the attainment of the commanding heights of the political and economic domains of Benue State, and this requires reversal if we are to get out of perpetual lamentations.
Former Minister of State for Niger Delta, Dr. Sam Ode, MNI, said Benue State must learn from the FG zoning understanding between the North and the South that always considers the South taking turns of the presidential seat. He advised that all political parties in Benue State, especially the major ones, should cede their ticket to candidates from the Benue South extraction come 2023.
It is important that the leaders of our political parties, especially the major political parties, should be able to canvass the understanding of the political leaders in their respective political parties to concede the Gilbert ticket to Benue South Senatorial District.
Meanwhile, the distinguished senator representing the Benue South people, Senator Abba Moro, said the fight is against a mindset but must be done on persuasion and humility for a political equilibrium.
We are fighting against a mindset. And what we are asking for is not too much. In our present political situation, we are asking to be supported to contribute our voter to the development of benefit of our dream. When we are struggling, in the type of struggle that we are engaged in, you will certainly meet obstacles. You will certainly be confronted with a lot of limitations. In spite of the provocation that we have undergone for a long time, we must at this material time learning from the mistakes of the past and able to be humble in our request to be supported to produce the best of our benefits.
Trouble appears to be brewing within the academia as the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, has vowed to resist the payment of their salaries through the UTAS, the platform developed by ASU, just as the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, is set to call off its 8-month-old strike. SANU has also warned against preferential treatment in the disbursement of the 40 billion naira announced by the federal government to pay the end allowance to all university-based unions, saying that the money should not be released to ASU but the university councils for effective distribution. The union warned the federal government to be wary of any group or union that would present any payment platform apart from the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System (IPPIS), which is the one recognized by government to curb corruption within the system, stating that government has no business in sharing money to unions as universities were established through statutes of laws, with each university having a governing council, which is the employer of all workers and the highest policy-making body of each university. Operatives of the Lagos State Environmental and Special Offences Enforcement Unit have demolished over 1,700 illegal shanties and container shops around Fagba railway lines, Agege area of the metropolis, following a 7-day removal order and the expiration of a 21 days grace given to residents to remove their belongings and vacate the area. Chairman of the agency, Olayinka Egbeyemi, said that the government's action was based on a series of complaints about criminal activities in the area of how many occupants of the illegal shanties and container shops were occupied by miscreants and hoodlums who terrorized innocent citizens around Fagba, Iju-Ishaga and Pen Cinema area, dispossessing them of their valuables, especially early in the day and late at night. He further stated that investigations conducted has revealed that miscreants and hoodlums occupying the illegal shanties were responsible for the destruction of public properties and looting of shops that occurred following the recent EndSARS protests around Agege Metropoli in Lagos State. On the foreign scene, United States President-elect Joe Biden is about to announce Nigerian-born attorney and economist Adewale Wale Adeyemo as Deputy Treasury Secretary in the incoming administration. Adeyemo, who is a former senior international economic advisor during the Obama administration, will serve under former Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen, who Biden plans to appoint to lead the U.S. Treasury Department. Adeyemo assumed leadership of the Obama Foundation in 2019, and his appointment is one of the many key cabinet positions Biden is expected to announce in the coming days. Born in Nigeria, Adeyemo was raised in California, where he obtained a bachelor's degree before proceeding to Yale Law School for his legal education. And that's the news update at this time on Television Nigeria. Many thanks for watching. I am Charles Ibe.
Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape,